Hello, it's Helen here from helenmartinonline.com and we are live. I haven't been live since my birthday last week, so firstly, all of you that took the time to send me birthday messages, I'm so truly appreciative of that, that you took the time to do that. Sorry, just making sure things are right there. So thank you very much. If you've seen any of the photos on my page, you would have seen the awesome birthday that I had, the car I got to experience. I got taken out for breakfast and lunch and had people over for dinner and then had another family gathering, on Sunday. So it's been an awesome time. So firstly, thank you. So what I'm here to talk to you about today is the final trap to self-doubt. So over a number of weeks, I've been talking about the 5 main traps to self-doubt. So if you ever experience, doubt, lack of belief, you doubt yourself, you're not taking action when you know you need to because you're hesitating, you're doubting yourself or you're sort of critical of yourself, that's what I'm sort of concentrating on here. So if you're joining me live, please tell me where you're coming in from. If you've not jumped on a live of mine before, please put the number 1 down below so I can give you a shout out. And if you're watching the replay, just put the word replay down below so I can go and say hello to you afterwards. But basically what I do is help home-based business owners bring their business online. So the skill sets that are required to bring your business online, brand yourself online, find leads online, how do you make sales online, those kind of things, and video marketing. And once a week I jump on and talk about like a mindset, personal development type topic. So for the last number of weeks, I've been talking about this issue of self-doubt because we all experience it. Even when you're very aware of it, and, you even sort of teach and coach on it like I do, it doesn't mean I don't have self-doubt in any way. So it always creeps in no matter, how much knowledge you've got around this. Hey, Rob, thank you for joining me live. It's nice to see you here. So it always sort of creeps in, but the more knowledge and awareness that you have about the things that slip you up, then the more control you have over your life. The more control you have over your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions, then that's when you're going to become successful in all areas of your life, from relationships to, finances, career, business, those type of things. So I've been talking over the last number of weeks of the 5 main traps. I'm just going to recap those for you. So it's hesitating, hiding, hypercritical, helplessness, and the 5th one is anxiety, which is what I'm going to concentrate on today. So if you experience any of those other topics that I spoke about just then, so the helplessness or, you're super critical of yourself and that holds you back, or you're shying away and you're hiding away from doing the things that you need to do. So you know what action you need to take, but you're not taking it. So those kind of elements of self-doubt, the recordings of all those previous topics, so the previous 4, are all on my website. So if you go to www.helenmartinonline.com, then all the previous 4 traps of self-doubt, they're all posted up there and also on my YouTube channel as well. So if you've missed the previous 4, but you're interested to learn a little bit more about the whole 5 traps of self-doubt, then just go to my website or YouTube to find those previous weeks that I've gone through this material. So today I'm concentrating on anxiety. Anxiety is a big one. Anxiety stops people in their tracks. Anxiety stops, it really is a physical reaction to stress, if you like. So anxiety comes from worrying. So do you worry? If you worry, send me some likes and loves. Put the number 2 down below if you've ever worried about anything in your life. Like for somebody to say they don't ever worry, it would probably be very rare. But this is where anxiety comes from. So if you worry a lot, then you may experience what we call anxiousness. So anxiousness is really a physical state in your body that comes from worrying. So if you're an overthinker, I'm an overthinker, I'll admit that. If you, hey Jody, how are you? Nice to see you live. If you think too much, if you worry too much, if you know your mind goes 100 miles an hour sometimes and you're worried about certain things, then this is what can lead to anxiety. The problem with anxiety is if you don't control it, it can actually turn into what we call panic attacks. So people with really bad anxiety, if not controlled, particularly in the moment, it can actually elevate your body state to get into a state of panic. And that's when anxiety gets really dangerous because it becomes a physical way of being, and cortisol flushes to your brain and puts you in a hyperactive state, and you have no sense of control when you're like that. You don't think rationally when you're like that, and you certainly don't make good decisions when you're like that. So we really want to learn how to control anxiety so it never leads to what we call a panic attack. Now, people experience mild and extreme versions of anxiety, but mild anxiety is, as I explained before, it's a physical state in your body that comes from overthinking, worrying, you're stressing about something, you're reworking a conversation in your mind, you've got something coming up and you're anxious about going to it. You've got to call somebody and you don't know what to say. You've got to approach somebody and you really don't want to do it. Or you've got to go in a crowd. Maybe you're anxious about crowds. There's so many different things that people can get anxious about. So if not controlled, that constant worrying and that constant, fear, if you like, it just floods what we call cortisol to the brain, and that's when you become ineffective of controlling your emotions and certainly, being in control in general. So it's something you definitely want to learn to control. Now, I've done a lot of study on anxiety just out of interest and doing all this research on self-doubt and how we overcome it. And I find that a lot of the solutions that are given to people are quite wishy-washy. It's like, well, eat well and exercise and, make sure you have a balanced life and chillax, relax and meditate. And, they are all good strategies, and anybody that experiences anxiety should take those things on board for sure. But in general, in life, we should all exercise, we should all meditate to control our emotions and be calm, and we should all eat well and have a balanced lifestyle and all those kind of things. So yes, they're important to somebody that's got anxiety, but it doesn't really help the person in the moment. So what does? How do you control anxiety? So the interesting thing about anxiety is that your body does not know the difference between fear and excitement. It doesn't know other than what you tell it. So if you tell your body that, or if you sort of tell your mind, I'm scared, I'm fearful, I'm anxious, I'm worrying about this, then that's the negative state of mind that you are going to be in. But I'll say it again. Your brain your body doesn't know the difference between nervousness and fear and excitement other than what you tell it. So what's the power here? The power here is what you tell yourself. So this comes from a medical study from the Harvard Medical School. This is not stuff I'm making up. This is a strategy if you experience anxiety, if you worry a lot, that you can use in your life to help you in that moment when you're feeling really anxious and really worried about something, how to channel that negative anxiousness into positive thoughts is to channel excitement. So I'll give you an example of that from this study from the Harvard Medical School. So they worked with a number of students that were about to go into exams, a number of people that were about to do speeches on stage, like speaking, and athletes that were about to, run races and do stuff like that. So in all those three scenarios, there was a heightened level of nervousness and fear for different reasons in the different areas that they were in. So they trained these people and taught these people to channel their nervousness and fear through their brain by the way they think in thinking of excitement. So it's not I'm nervous, I'm excited. And you tell yourself this over and over and over again. I'm not nervous, I'm just excited. I'm excited for this race. I'm excited for getting on stage and talking to these people. I'm excited to do this test because the outcome means that, this for me. So when you channel it the right way through your thoughts and your brain, you can shift a heightened level of anxiety and worry, which is negative, to a positive level of energy, why you want to do that and the difference that it makes, that you stay in control of your prefrontal cortex. So when you are in control of that, you stop cortisol flooding to your brain and overtaking you. When that happens, you are in a high level of stress. You have the inability to control your emotions and your thoughts. When you channel nervousness and fear into excitement purely by telling yourself that you are excited, then you have the ability to control that prefrontal cortex and not have that cortisol flood to your brain. That's what you want to be in control of. When you're in control of that and you can channel your heightened state of energy from negative to positive, you remain in control here in your brain. You stop that cortisol flooding to your brain and you remain in control. So I know for some of you that might experience anxiety and anxiousness and nervousness, it's like, well, I don't think I can do that. That's not easy. Try it. It's been tested and proven to work. So all these things that they say help you with anxiety, like go for a walk and eat well and make sure you meditate, and they're great strategies in general for people that, struggle with anxiety. But in that moment, to stop yourself from being really worried and really anxious to then possibly turning that into a panic attack, you have to, in the moment, tell yourself, I'm excited. I'm not fearful. I'm excited. When you do that, you trick your brain to a positive state rather than a negative state. So it thinks, okay, it basically says, I don't need to be fearful. I'm actually positively excited. So I say this again, like I said before, anxiety is a physical way of being in your body. And Louisa, so good. I do this. It gets me through each day. And with each day, the mindset muscle is stronger. I like to use this. This is interesting when things are a little more sucky rather than letting my head. I can't see the rest of your wording, but thank you, Louisa, for contributing. And I wholeheartedly agree. And it's great to hear that. It's what you tell yourself is what's going to be your reality. So if you tell yourself you're fearful, if you tell yourself that you are scared, that is where you're going to sit. That's where you're going to stand. That's what you're going to experience. You're not going to have control of your brain. The cortisol is going to flood to your brain and you're going to lose control to the point of maybe even panic. So when you can tell yourself, when you know it's happening, you can feel it's happening, you're feeling nervous, you're feeling really anxious, you can start to feel that physical feeling in your body. Tell yourself over and over and over again, I'm excited, I'm excited. Put a smile on your face. Physically change your being. So smile and say, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. When you do that, this heightened level of energy that you've got that's negative, and you're about to fear something, you're fearful of something, you're nervous of something, and your brain's going, this is bad, this is bad. When you go, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, and you can channel your thoughts in a different way, in a positive way, your brain has nothing to fear. It goes, okay, this is good. This is good. You stay in control of your brain, the cortisol doesn't flood, and you are staying in control and calm. So I know for those of you that experience anxiety, it may seem too simple on the surface of it. World-renowned speakers use this trick just before they go on stage. You bet they're nervous. There's people that speak to, tens of thousands of people. Don't ever think that they still don't get nervous before they go on stage, but they channel their fear and their nervousness is, I'm excited to do this, I'm excited to do this. They put a smile on their face and the fear goes away. And just understand that feeling nervous is actually a normal feeling. You don't need to feel bad for feeling nervous. You don't need to make yourself wrong for feeling nervous. Nervous is a normal, understandable, absolutely completely normal emotion. But when that nervousness turns to fear and worry, so anxiety comes from worry. Why are you worrying? That's all part of this is to dissect and have a really good level of awareness of what you're worried about. But when you're in that moment of feeling heightened anxiety, your brain is going, this is bad, this is bad. And that's where it can, lead to, bad anxiety and even panic attack. If you channel that into, I'm excited for this, it's okay, I'm okay, this means I'm moving forward, I'm feeling better, then your mind is going, there's nothing to be fearful of. This is a good thing. So you need to trick your brain. So one of the things I've spoken about with all these 5 areas of self-doubt is that, and if you have listened to them before, you would have heard me say over and over again that your brain is wired to keep you safe. So anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, you're not going to pick up the phone and ring somebody if it makes you feel uncomfortable. You're not going to approach people you need to do. Maybe you're not going to put yourself out there online because it makes you feel uncomfortable. That's what your brain is wired to do. It's to keep you safe. So anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, your brain is inherently not going to just consciously allow you to do that because it's uncomfortable. So the only way you can overcome these 5 traits and traps of self-doubt and anxiety, which we're talking about and concentrating on today, is to train your brain to think otherwise. So even in the moment when you're feeling anxious, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm not anxious. I'm excited. I'm excited. You put a smile on your face. You tell your brain you're excited. Your body will feel what you tell it. It is a safety mechanism. Absolutely, Rob. So, and I say this again, your body doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement. It just doesn't. So your brain is what makes the difference there. If you tell your brain you're scared, you're fearful, you're really nervous, you're anxious, that's the way your body will interpret it. And it's going to go, something's wrong here. This is negative. But if you can tell your brain, I'm excited, it's okay, I'm excited, this is normal to feel nervous, I'm actually excited, then your brain goes, there's nothing to fear here, she's excited. So whatever you tell your brain is how this anxiousness will play out for you, because it doesn't know, your body, your physical body doesn't know the difference. So send your brain the right messages to make sure you stay in control here and cortisol doesn't take over into this heightened stress and heightened anxiety, and suddenly you're going like this. Because you've told yourself you're anxious. You've told yourself something's wrong. You're worrying about something over and over and over again. And you've just lost complete ability to, change a negative into a positive by the way the words that you're telling yourself. So believe it or not, you have the power. People that sit in anxiety think they don't. They think they have no control. They're often put on medication to control it. And sometimes, yes, that is necessary and it's not something to be ashamed of. Sometimes that's required and that's okay. But you can help yourself with the way you think and move forward and move in a positive direction by the words that you tell yourself in your brain. So when you're starting to feel that anxiousness and that worry is getting to a state where you're physically starting to feel it, change your thoughts into, okay, I know I'm stressing about this a bit, but there's no need to be worried. I'm actually excited about the possibility of what this could bring for me. I'm actually excited about the possibility of impacting people on stage when I go and speak. I know they aren't dealing with deep and meaningful emotional things that can get somebody into an anxious state. But it works. It's scientifically proven that if you can tell your brain you're excited instead of being in fear, then you have the ability to shift your mind from I'm scared and this is bad to I'm okay and I'm excited and I don't need to be fearful or anxious anymore. Okay, so you have the power to do that. So please just remember that the next time you're feeling anxious or really, really worried, you need to diffuse the worry by the thoughts that go through your mind, and you are in control. Where people get a lot of the mindset and personal develop, areas a little bit